Hello there, welcome back, my turtle ducks. Yes, that's what I'm calling the fan base. Fuck you all. You guys are now all
Sorry.
turtle ducks. But we are continue on with our animation nation. We're reacting to indie animation from all over. We're continuing going down the list. We're hitting the Pine Creeper from again Don't Walk Home Alone After Dark. The last one was fucking banger. It was really good. Narration wise, animation wise, was really good. I really enjoyed it. This one's even shorter, so we're gonna see what it's all about.
Very curious. Let's see how it started.
Yeah, the first one.
I'll
Oh,
never
yeah.
forget the summer of '95.
Ah, shit, the 90s.
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
I was 13 that
Same.
year. A heat wave had
Oh,
set
he's
in,
old.
making it one of the hottest Julys on record.
Awesome.
The house I grew up in on Lake Michigan didn't have air conditioning.
I like the still though.
Most of the time,
Like the
that
still
was
animation.
fine.
Very pretty.
At night, a breeze would come in off the water, so just an open window was usually enough to cool things down and sleep pretty comfortably.
Mosquitoes.
But not that summer.
Yeah.
That summer was different. Some of my
Friendship.
friends and I had taken to camping outside to try and escape the heat. Jordy Baker, Augie McLean, and me. I don't know if it really made all that much difference. I think maybe we just liked being together. That made it easier
The
to get
homies.
through. I can't
Sounds like
remember
he's
the
explaining this
first
to the
day I
cops.
met Jordy.
I'm not
We lived
gonna
on the
lie,
same
like I
street
kind of
in a
like
small
miss when we just go on random adventures as kids, as teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I do-
was- Yeah,
I do remember the park with the creek.
park the creek, going under the fucking waterways, walking around downtown, just random shit. Ah, to be young.
Very.
And we did everything together. He was my best friend. It felt like it had always been that way. Augie was a quiet kid back then,
Stick.
but you wouldn't know it when we were alone.
Sticks be
So
great.
much so that his big mouth got us kicked out of my backyard. Dad had to be up at 5 for work, and he didn't exactly appreciate Augie's high-pitched laugh the same way Jordy and I did. There was a clearing in the pines behind Jordy's house where we used to hang out sometimes, so we decided to set up camp back there. An old, rusted-out Buick Century marked the spot. I always wondered
Why
whose
is the
car that used to
tire
be.
flat?
Back before it became part of the woods, I mean.
Just abandoned Asgard.
Yep.
Thinking about it now, I'm not even really sure how it got out there through the trees in the first place.
They took the front tire rim and just made
Cleaned
a
out the
made a
broken
campfire,
glass
made a
and
fire
the
pit.
cigarette butts
That's
left
actually
behind by the
genius.
neighborhood teenagers. And we made a fire pit out of one of the wheel rims Jordy managed to
Yeah.
pry off. The mosquitoes out there were ruthless at sundown. And
I
dry,
bet.
prickly needles covered the ground in a thick blanket under the trees. The only thing I hated more than that feeling under my feet when I wasn't wearing any shoes was the crunching sound they made whenever I was.
That's why I like going out to
Wasn't all
like
that
the
cozy
forest
of a
and
spot,
stuff. I
but
just
at
love
least
that
it was
sound.
private. A place far enough away from the rest of the world that we could stay up all night laughing and no one would care. Jordy had skimmed some beer from a case in the basement that his dad was working on. 4 bottles of lukewarm lager to share between us. Not
No,
exactly
the
a
lighting with the
blowout,
fire.
but not enough
Yeah.
that Mr. Baker would miss him either.
Underage drinking. No.
I don't drink much beer these days, but even just the smell of it always brings me back to that night.
That's why the beer brings you back to retail. Pretty ass. Except that one beer Jeffrey like got us at that pub.
Oh yeah.
The hours slipped past as we
Fuck, I
stoked
forgot
the
what
fire,
pub it was.
talking about nothing in particular.
Oh,
That half
Mr.
a
Tire.
sip of beer must have gone right to Augie's head as he called it a night pretty early on without even finishing one bottle. We didn't mind. More for us. At some
That's
point,
so
Jordy
pretty.
brought up what happened
Nice.
to Pike Lister.
I'm literally gonna go back to the video and I'm gonna screenshot the pretty stills so I can use them as backgrounds.
Pike was 2 grades ahead of me in school, and he'd probably failed a couple on top of that. He was
What a great
big,
walk sign.
and everybody was scared of him.
Fucking walks like a
On
JoJo
Friday,
character.
that past
Big
November,
motherfucker.
Pike left school after his usual extra hour of detention to walk home. And that was the last time anybody saw him. The search lasted for weeks. They never found anything. Some people said he just took off, ran away from home. Others thought he might have drowned in the lake accidentally. Not Jordy, though. I listened
Pennywise got him.
quietly as he laid it all out. How his dad said it wasn't the first time something like this had happened around here. How back in the 70s, 4 people disappeared without a trace. And how around that same time, locals had started seeing something in the woods that wrapped around our town.
And y'all
Pale
still live
creatures
there.
with large eyes and long
Yeah.
limbs, creeped around on all 4s. The Pine Creepers. That's what we called them anyway. Jordy figured that's what happened to Pike. The Pine Creepers must have got him. I laughed him off and eagerly changed the subject. We ended up burning a couple more sticks before letting the fire die and heading to bed. One of us could take the back of the Buick, and the other had to sleep in the tent with Augie. To call it a 2-man tent was being generous.
Damn.
I offered to bite the bullet, or at least that's what I let Jordy think. I'd never admit it at the time, but the truth is, all that talk about the creepers had me a little scared. Augie's snoring and spooning seemed like a fair price to pay if I didn't have to be alone outside.
Don't spoon me and snore in my ear.
Yeah.
After all,
Oh.
if they could take Pike Lister, what chance did any of us have?
Yeah, they got your big guy.
I'm not sure what time it was when I woke up. It was still dark out, and I could hear rain coming down outside. For the first few minutes, I just laid there, listening to the steady sound of the drops against the tent.
Yeah, rain
It
and
wasn't
tent.
long before I
Beautiful.
realized that beer
Yeah,
had gone
so
right
good.
through me, and I wasn't going to be able to hold it. I fumbled around until I found the lantern, and I made my way outside. The night air
Your worst
had
fear,
cooled
the butt's
down a
coming
bit
when your
with the
pants are
rain,
down.
which felt nice. The whole sky was clouded over, blocking out any light from the moon or the stars. My eyes finally started adjusting to the dark. That was when I noticed it. Something catching the light just beyond the edge of the clearing. A dim, reflective shine that flickered as I moved the lantern. It took me a second to realize what I was looking at. Eyes
Ah, damn.
watching me.
Oh, hell no.
It was hard to see much of what those eyes belonged to. I knew what they were. Pine Creepers.
At that point, I'd just start
Goblin.
swinging. I'd start swinging.
My pulse pounded in my ears as we stared each other down. I carefully started backing up, never once looking away. I wanted to turn and run so badly, but just kept slowly taking one step after another. I got back into the tent as quickly as I could without making much noise. Maybe if I was quiet enough, those things would move along. I thought about waking Augie, but didn't want him to freak out and draw attention to us. Seconds passed. Nothing. The rustling of the trees and the calm drone of the rain. Just as I started to think that maybe I'd overreacted. Maybe my mind could be playing tricks on me. It started. That familiar, awful sound. The crunch of those needles. There was something moving around outside the tent.
The hell?
That's a good shot.
That's
But you
really
fucking
good
My
shot.
best to hold my breath.
Dude's car is
Worst
open,
part
bro.
of it all was I knew Jordy was out
Let
there
him take the car.
alone. I kept telling myself he wouldn't wake up. He was safer in the Buick. That I should stay still, stay quiet.
Maybe you should have turned
I
that lamp
laid
off.
there, and I kept listening for what felt like forever. I was too scared to do anything else. I never woke up Augie. I never called out to Jordy. I never did anything.
They took him. They took him from the Buick because the back door was fucking open.
The hours passed, and I must have fallen asleep for a few minutes because the next thing I knew, the birds had suddenly started chirping, and even from inside the tent, I could tell it was getting light out. I gathered any bit of courage I had, threw the sleeping bag off, and gave Augie a shove. I climbed out of the tent first, but he wasn't far behind me. Part of me believed that the pine creepers were still out there, just waiting for me to slip up. When I saw the Buick, I got this awful feeling in the pit of my stomach.
They took him. They took bro.
It was empty. Jordy was just gone. On the
Hey,
way back
Tucker.
to his house, I kept telling myself, we'll find him there. He just got up early and he wanted the comfort of his own bed. He wasn't there. We waited around all day, but he never came home. By the evening, our whole town was in a frenzy looking for him. I never told anybody about what I saw that night. Not even Augie. Nobody would believe me anyway. I've played it over and over in my head. I'll never forget the summer of '95. That was the year Jordy Baker went missing.
Dog. Dog.
What
Dog.
a I was like, what a passion for ghost stories.
Yeah. For horror stories in general, dude. Like, the fuck. And the thing is, the fucking whoever's doing the voiceovers, whoever he's getting to do the voiceovers, are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh man, to be honest, dude's a little bitch for that. This is kind of one of those things that you would probably find as like, am I the asshole Reddit stories?
Am I the asshole? The forest goblins came and they took my friend away.
And I didn't tell anyone about it. Am I the asshole? Yes.
He's just like, I'm sorry, bro.
You kind of a dick.
I mean, you guys went out there into the woods with no sticks, no knives, no guns, no nothing.
Knowing that some dude disappeared and there was an urban legend about that shit, you know? I think that's kind of just dumb decision making from kids themselves.
It would be really funny. He was like, "Did you hear the legend?" He was like, "No, I would not have made coming out here a regular thing if you told me."
No, just creepy vibes and mystery. Absolutely facts. Saw the worm, came back to check out this one. Happy I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did what we did. We worked backwards.
Colors, the composition, the sound designs are spot on. So I honestly, imagine sleeping in the back of the car without closing the rear door. That's what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah, I was like, those broken windows. I'd be like, if it started raining, I'd be like, guys, make fucking room.
Yeah.
Make a room in the tent. I'm not sleeping in the back of a car and like with it getting mildewy on me.
It made me cry. Brought me back to my childhood when every day was an adventure with your friends, and now I'm alone. Oh, poor guy. So, I still like number 2 the best.
Yeah, it seems the worm's the happy medium between the two because this was their first one, so it's understandable that they put more of the effort into like the smoothness of the monster animations because that's where it all kind of like that's those money shots of just the creatures.
Yeah, it was more stills, less animation, but when they did the animations were clean. The worm was like a mixture of both, because the third one, because it was longer, you had more stills, but the animations were clean as fuck.
Yeah.
But the worm had a good like amount of just stills and then like animation. But the stills
both,
in the
yeah.
worm were so good.
Yeah, I was like, I would stand by just being like, the Devil's Rock should have been a silent film,
Yeah.
but the worm worked because of the twist at the end,
Mhm.
where it's like, yeah, like the explanation is necessary.
Yeah.
And the Pine Creepers is just like a good old fashioned ghost story.
Good old fashion campfire story, essentially.
Yeah, like that. That shit is haunting.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you want us to watch. If you have any anime recommendations, let us know in the comments. We will watch them unless we already have them on the list. But yeah. Have a good night.
Lead it.